And I'm back. I'm back. I'm back, and I'm pretty sure a lot of folks just want to talk dogs. Just want to listen to some good dog talk. We come here to be friends. Friends in the community. That's what we come here for. We come here to chat. We come here to talk dogs. I like some of the older dogs, though. As you can tell, it's kind of, wow, it's kind of late, about 9 o'clock, but it ain't. I mean, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. I'm still ready to talk about one of my favorite dogs. You know, I always have liked G2. I have always liked the Goliath too. I don't know why, man, but that when you see a G2 dog, it's just a beautiful dog, man. It's really a pretty dog. That dog is pretty. Kind of does look a little bulldogish. Some of them. I've seen a few G2s that looked a little bulldogish, just a little bit, but they were big. They were big, you know what I mean? And I don't know if the person who had the dog, probably bred it to look that way, but then again, I have seen like more than one G2 dog. You know what I'm saying? Kind of bulldogish, but for the most part, Callie, the dog's mother, Callie Kingpin's Bamba, she wasn't a bulldog at all. She was not a bulldog. A nice big old blue dog, from what the pictures show. A nice big blue dog. She was nice. Had a nice head, big broad shoulders, nice straight body. She could have probably had some flaws. I don't know. I never got a chance to meet her, but from what I could see on the pictures, she was a nice dog. You know, and you know, she did a breeding to Leon's Goliath, and they came out with Goliath too. Leon's Goliath and Bamba came out with Goliath too. Callie Kingpin's Bamba. That was a nice breeding. That was a nice breeding. In my eyes, and to me, I like that dog. I really did like that dog. I mean, it did kind of favor Leon's Goliath a little bit. It did kind of favor Leon's Goliath. Leon's Goliath, look in the pictures though, when I looked at his eyes, they wasn't all the best. I mean, they didn't look like natural bully eyes to me. The almond shaped part, they were a little bit rounder to me. I don't know. When you look at the picture for yourself, and you pull it up and you look at his eyes kind of looked a little round, but he was a pretty dog. Blue dog. I had a picture of him with a white chest. Oh man, he was nice. But that dog's father was Monster Jojola. When you look him up, I mean, Monster. Like Monster, if Monster wasn't the king of the bully, the face of the bully, then you really got to show me what the face of the bully was, man. Monster was a nice looking dog. All you could have ever wanted, really, in an American bully / pit bull / a lot of that gray line. You know, when you hear people talk about the bully, they don't talk about Greyline a lot. They don't. They don't talk about Greyline a lot. Greyline had a lot to do with this bully, man. Shout out to Greyline. You know, Greyline had a lot to do with this bully. You know what I mean? Because Monster was bred to another dog from Leon's, which was Leon's Shorty that I didn't see a picture of. But I'm more than sure she was cute too. He had some nice dogs. You know what I mean? He had some very nice dogs over there. And when you created Goliath too, oh man, G2 was nice. G2 was nice. I'm serious. I like G2. I remember the first time I seen that dog come through the neighborhood. My homeboy had that dog. He had a puppy G2. When G2 really first started coming to NorCal. And I looked at that little blue puppy that he had with this broad head. And he did look like, you know, a different form of pit. He looked at kind of bulldogish a little bit, but he was raw, man. I can't even lie. He was raw. He was raw, man. This was a nice dog. And it was off of G2, you know what I'm saying? Because Cali Kingpin's Bomba, when you look her up, she comes off of Michaelin's Cracker Jack. You know, he had a lot to do with Dax, didn't he? So she comes off Cracker Jack. You know what I mean? She's what was that? Dax's sister? How old I gotta look that one up? Oh man. You know what I'm saying? And then Cracker Jack bred to Night Train. Them was both old dogs, old pit bull looking dogs too. You know what I'm saying? Ready to bite. But they probably didn't bite. They just looked like that. You know what I mean? And Night Train was a nice black dog. It was a nice black dog. They was both kind of short. You know what I mean? They was both short. When you look them up on the pictures, they was both short. And they was nice dogs. Old school bully dogs. And I mean, those kind of dogs look like they still had drive and fire to them. When you look at Cracker Jack, he didn't look like he played no games. I ain't never get a chance to meet Cracker Jack. Cracker Jack didn't look like he played any games. You know what I'm saying? And Night Train was, man, looked like a cougar. You know what I'm saying? Looked like just like a phantom dog. She was just jet black. Pretty dog, man. Short too. You know what I mean? Old school stuff, man. You know what I mean? Took two of them dogs right there, put Cracker Jack, you know what I'm saying, with Night Train, and came out with Bomba. And they come from deep old school blood. Deep old school blood. I mean, you got Monster in the program. You got Monster in the program. That's deep right there. They got deep old school blood because, man, Monster was on the pictures on the paper showed he was a notorious Juan Gotti son. Like this was some fine gray line right here, boy. This was some fine gray line right here. You hear me? And then they took that dog to Ebony. Castle King's Ebony. I looked her up. It was a nice blue dog. Juan Gotti was a blue dog. Ain't that a trip? Juan Gotti. What was he? Blue or silver? You know what I'm saying? He was blue or silver. Blue and white. He was a blue and white dog. Juan Gotti was. Okay? Was a blue and white dog. Juan Gotti himself was a blue and white dog. Juan Gotti, the notorious Juan Gotti, was a blue and white dog. Castle King's Ebony was a sable and white dog. Could have been mistaken for blue. Could have been mistaken for silver. She was sable. That's kind of crazy, man. Because it just makes you wonder. It just makes you trip on genetics. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dogs come from black dogs. Black and blue dogs. They come from black and blue dogs. And here you done took two, basically blue dogs, because one was blue and one was sable, which to me, even to you would have thought they would have created dogs that look like them. You would have thought they would have created more blue dogs. They created Monster. And he was a blue fawn. Monster was a blue fawn. He was fawn. His mother was sable. His father was blue. He came out a blue fawn. Now, who want to do their genetics and the little bees and big bees? Because I can do it. I can do it. I'm very much studying that right now. Everything about dogs. But I'm just saying, who want to do that? Because now, you done took two blue dogs and came out with a blue fawn. When their backgrounds show that they come from a lot of black. At that point in time, you know what I'm saying, there was a lot of black dogs being bred that were pit/bully. Being bred to blue dogs, and this came out with a fawn. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This is what I seen just a couple months ago. I seen a brindle and white dog. A brindle and white, and he was mostly, man had to be 65 to 70% white with just brindle patches on it. And that dog bred to a fawn dog. And I just seen this. I got pictures of those puppies. When they bred that white dog with brindle patches, when he bred to that fawn dog, they came out with red pups. It was like 4 pups in that litter that was red. That was some serious genetics right there. Just working. None of them looked crazy or screwed up, and they was straight up bully. But neither one of these dogs were red. And for a long time in their generations, at least for the first 3 generations back, going backwards, they didn't have no red dogs in their program. Their family wasn't even red. But they kicked 4 red pups from a white dog with brindle patches. So, you know what I'm saying? Some things can happen, you just got to look into it and, do your examining. But Goliath too was gorgeous. That was one gorgeous dog. You know what I mean? He come from a line of gray line dogs. He came from a line of gray line dogs. He came from a line of them, and that just goes to show you what some of that gray line blood is able to do. You could call the dogs whatever you want, but when you go all the way back and you start to go back and see that these dogs got gray line in them just stacked up, at some point in time, you got to call that specific dog a gray line dog too. You know what I mean? Because, shit, if the daddy was gray line and the mama was gray line and the great grandma was gray line, but the great granddaddy was something else, don't that make that dog gray line? I mean, there's a lot of these old school dogs with gray line. So if anybody, any people out here like got dogs, big old dogs, and you saying they off this dog and that dog, well, if you do the lineage all the way back, probably be just a gray line dog. Especially if it act like a pit bull. Because, gray line dogs had a little drive to them, had a little fire to them. They wasn't playing. You look at the pictures on them dogs, they wasn't playing. It was a nice yard. Gray line had nice dogs. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at a lot of stuff going back, and you'll see that Michaelin's had a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? It was old school people, that had things to do with it. Cali Kingpin, had things to do with it. You know what I mean? These were people, man, that was there. Leon was there, These were people that had the starting dogs, the foundation dogs. And like I say, some of them dogs were pit bulls. From the pictures that they showed, them dogs were pit. You know what I'm saying? They probably took some of them and bred them to staffs. There was a few sneaky people, too, that took that damn dog and bred it to a bulldog, too. There is a few sneaky people. It's always, ain't nobody gonna just play the game straight. You ain't even never played a video game fair. So you ain't finna play this game fair. You see you could get some money, you gonna go get it. G2 kind of changed up the look on the gray line dogs. So he became his own self dog once he popped out, because G2 was the first dog that pulled the Miyagi. When he popped out, he was his own self dog. He looked like his own self dog. You know what I mean? I mean, you couldn't even confuse G2 with Gray Line. Gray Line was a different looking dog. G2 looked like it had been bred to something else. But, I mean, because the dog did take on a different shape. Did not look like a Gray Line dog, but at the same time, look at Crackerjack. Crackerjack was small. You know what I'm saying? The other dog was small that Crackerjack bred to was small. It was a small dog. They were short dogs, And you can't say too much of nothing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, Night Train was a short dog. Night Train was a short dog. But then you look at G2, he's stupid. You know what I'm saying? He kind of big, you know what I'm saying? But he was pretty, though. He wasn't really, really tall. G2 wasn't really tall. He just had that wideness to him. If you ask me, he was really probably one of the first extremes. I mean, go look at his pictures. He was one of the extremes that could move, though. You don't think G2 was the extreme that could move? When you look at G2, you don't think he was an extreme dog? But he was an extreme dog that could move? See, you always trying to act like you seen this for the first time in your life, but there's nothing new under the sun. So how did you see this for the first time in your life? Maybe you saw it for the first time in your life. I can give you that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, this ain't my first time seeing extreme dog. I told you, we didn't already seen these dogs before. Nothing new under the sun, man. You just, doing a repeat of what we already did, but you're repeating it to where some of y'all actually getting paid off of it. You know what I mean? You making top dollar off of it. You know what I'm saying? You getting it off of it. You know what I'm saying? But to be truthful, a lot of people already done these breedings you doing already before. They done already did them. They just never stepped out with them because, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of y'all was embarrassed. A lot of y'all didn't want nobody to see them dogs. You didn't want nobody to see a dog you bred to a bulldog. Because you knew everybody, you know what I'm saying, around back in the days would have told you that dog looked like a bulldog. They would have told you that. That dog looks like a bulldog. He don't look like no pit bull. That dog don't look like no pit bull. He don't look like no Staffordshire. What kind of dog is that? Everybody would have hit you up and been saying that. You know it. You know what I'm saying? You know it. Everybody would have been hitting you up like, what kind of dog is that? Especially when you made them short and pudgy. See, when you take a dog and you make it short and pudgy, certain things are dead giveaways on that bulldog blood, man. That short and pudgy? Oh, nah. Oh, no. You can't do short and pudgy. Once you do short and pudgy, we can immediately tell that there's a blend. There's something going on. But like I said before, on most paperwork, it won't say that. It won't say that. It just, put the dogs on there that, you want to see. So you can run off and go tell somebody else that these are the dogs that's on the paperwork. And you too can sell dogs like the guy who sold them to you. Sometimes you don't be telling the truth about the dog, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't be telling the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Is, sometimes you could be looking at a dog and you say to yourself, like I'm saying about G2, who is a pretty dog, one of my favorites. One of my favorites, I can't even lie, but, he did change features. He did change features from Greyline. He did change features. You can look at the dog and tell he changed features. Stop playing. You can look at that and see, but he was still beautiful. And nobody else caught it because it wasn't nobody else really tripping on bulldog blood. See, you was being fooled. And a lot of people that got all these new dogs, you had the dogs that I'm talking about right now. See, Razor's Edge was first. You had to have an edge dog before you start breeding the shit you got. You had to have an edge dog. There was no such thing as extremes. Well, there were, but people wasn't breeding them. Nobody was walking through the streets with extremes. Or show your pictures. Show your pictures. Put your pictures up. Let's see those old school extremes. Let's see them old school extremes. See, because the pit bull was first. We're not going to go around the pit bull. We're not going to go around the Staffordshire. Those were dogs everybody had. So it's just all the facts about the dogs. Like I said, we bred all these dogs you got before. A lot of people was, lightweight embarrassed to show you a bulldog pit bull breeding. Because they've been done. People right now that did bulldog pit bull breedings a long time ago. See, but you wasn't really trying to run that race with crossbreeding dogs. So you didn't get the dogs that other people got because you stopped at the pit bull bulldog breeding. But if you would have took that dog and bred it back to something else, then, I would have bred it back to a pit and just kept going bully. But, certain people wanted tries. So then now you got another breed coming in. You got the Rottweiler coming in. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell you they bred a pit bull to a Rottweiler. What the hell somebody gonna look like sitting here telling you they bred a pit bull to a Rottweiler for? But the breeding took place, but they ain't gonna tell you they did it. But you had to take and breed a Rottweiler to a bully or something to come get this try. And then further along the way, you wanted the dog shorter. So you bred it to the men pen. I mean, there's a lot of mixing that goes on with dogs, and people don't never catch it. They won't never catch it because you can hide a lot of things from people by just putting it in a book. They will never find it there. And a lot of things were put in books and hid. They were put in books and hid. So sometimes you got to go to a book. When you looking at a dog that's a tricolored dog, you want to know where that tricolored even came from. There's a dog called the German Pinscher that was illegal in the country. Illegal to bring in the country. A while back, he was illegal to bring in the country, so they took the German Pinscher and they bred him to terriers. They bred him to any damn thing that they could get him his bloodline back up over here. So when them puppies was born, they started coming out with that color, that tricolor. That's the first starting foundation of the tri. See, the German Pinscher gave all the dogs the tri. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just something that I read up on. It might, that could even be false. It might be some other dog that gave that to the German Pinscher. And it is. Just got to keep reading. So sometimes when you see dogs and you notice a change, there's a change, man. There is a change. The dog has been changed. The dog has been changed. He's been bred to some type of bull-faced dog. Was G2 bred to a bull-faced dog? Don't know. Don't know. But he did change. He don't look the same. It's Greyline. He don't look the same as Monster. Their bodies aren't even the same as Monster. Pit bulls that used to pull trucks, and you put that motherfucker in neutral, and that dog start pulling that car, man. You know what I'm saying? These are them kind of dogs, man. When you do the lineage of dogs, it's incredible. Some of the things you may find behind these dogs. Because you could go and look at some people pedigrees that you see, their dogs change colors, change features. And you go on the pedigree and you go look at it, and you go down the pedigree, you start to notice a lot of bull-faced, bulldog-looking dogs on the pedigree. To me, that ain't nothing but double ups and triple ups, man, of bulldog. When you see a dog that look like something, that's what it is. You don't have to say that's what it is, but that's what it is. It's a dog. In order for you to change anything on that dog, you got to breed it. It's a dog, man. It is a damn dog, bro. So if you see something change on a dog, that's what it is. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. Unless somebody lied to you. A lot of young people will let people lie to them and tell them, nah, this ain't how we did our dog and whoopty-wop. And we got these dogs from somewhere. No, you didn't. You bred that shit in that dog. Some of y'all took a bully and bred it to a Doberman. You can see the patterns. You can see the patterns. When you want the pattern, you breed it to that dog. When you want the coat, you breed it to that dog. What dog am I talking about? The dog that has the coat. The Irish setter. The Cocker Spaniel. You know what I'm saying? The other dog, you breed it to him to get that coat. That's a different topic, you know what I'm saying? Some things I just be getting on, because right now I just was talking about G2, you know what I mean, and how he look. I like G2. He was a pretty dog. He was a real pretty dog. Shout out to G2. He was a very pretty dog. But I'm getting ready to do another Face the Bully here in a minute, man. I'm kind of tired. Been up all day. The police going crazy out here. So you know what? If it's some people watching this, which I know it is, Face the Bully. Shout out to my fam, man. What's happening? To the ones that's looking and the ones that's hating while they look still, man. Long as you viewing Face the Bully, knowing we talking about dogs, it's all good. Can you do me a favor and touch that like button? Let's get these videos floating through the algorithm. Let's get them floating through the algorithm. so people can see these videos and we can start talking heavily about some dogs. I'm probably one of the people right now that ain't got no podcast, and I love it. I don't be podcasting dogs, and I kind of love it. You know what I mean? But what I do is talk about them. So let's keep it bully, man. Touch that like button for me. And all y'all, be safe tonight, man. I pray for your souls. God bless you all. Love your dogs. And stay tuned in right here, please, on Face the Bully.